Hello and welcome everyone to Dungeons and Dragons Waterdeep Dragon Heist. As everyone knows, it's time for some D&D right now, and also as everyone knows, a D&D a day keeps the doctor away. Thankfully, not only do I have a lot of D&D with me, but I also have four doctors. Four good doctors. The good doctor of dubious potions.
I'm Elaine.
The good doctor of loot.
I'm Emma.
The good doctor of various mischiefs.
Pardon? I'm Paul. I'm fine. It's fine.
It's Paul Pardon Dean, everyone.
And finally, but Doctor, I am Pagliacci. It's
Ross. Hello.
I like that reference.
Well. I don't care. I thought you were going to call me Doctor No.
No, see, I worked in a Watchmen joke, so there you go.
Haven't seen it yet.
Who watches the Watchmen jokes? I guess we do.
We do. Why don't you introduce your characters to the lovely audience and remind everyone who you're playing, what you're playing, who they are, what they're about?
I play Marche Docume, who's an artificer and not particularly trustworthy one.
Well,
I play Gina, a halfling bard that is used to be a pirate and is now traveling the world. Hasn't sing a song on the stream yet. Maybe one day guitar will pop up, and no promises. Maybe, hopefully, they can make it work. But yeah, she giggles and sometimes stabs people.
That's true.
And it's sometimes very serious.
I was going to say, does it ever happen at the same time?
Oh,
I bet it does.
There you go.
I'm playing Aris, who is a rogue, which is, I think, a euphemism for thief. He's from Baldur's Gate originally, but now in Waterdeep, and decided to move somewhere else for no particular reason, and isn't in any trouble and doesn't have a past that he's trying to escape. He's fundamentally probably quite nice and good. He perhaps doesn't always associate with the best people. I don't know. Maybe he's built a new life here and everything's going to be great. Who knows?
Paul, is Aris in trouble?
I feel like you as the GM is the best judge of that. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's definitely there's probably some things that have happened in his life that I want to say not entirely his fault.
Well,
you can't,
okay.
You know,
I will be the judge of that.
People.
We'll find out. Ross.
Hello. Yeah, I'm playing a character called Rogan Morbash, who speaks with a voice a bit like that. He's a half-orc fighter. Still not got over how stupid that voice is.
I'm sorry, but the switch between Ross and Rogan was just
seamless. I know,
else.
seamless.
Yeah.
It was seamless.
Yeah.
That's what I'm a true actor's actor. That's why. Anyway, Rogan is a half-orc fighter. Comes from noble stock and has headed to Waterdeep to make a name for himself. Because he kind of didn't mean anything within the family. However, his kind of status and what he's been professing to be in Waterdeep so far kind of built upon a lie. He's borrowed a huge amount of money to fund, this part of his expedition, and he's up to the eyeballs in debt. Owns a tavern, which may or may not make any money, and so will need to continue to throw himself into adventures to try and kind of fix that, but also become the famed hero he's always wanted to be.
Mm. And finally, there was a fifth member of our cast, and you just saw the very corner of her tail right there. If you missed it, you missed it. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's Bessie.
Good timing.
Yes.
The ship's dog.
Indeed. A couple of things before we go into the adventure itself. Paul, last week you asked about how your renown works with various factions mechanically.
Maybe, yeah.
I thought I'll take this as an opportunity to explain. There isn't really a lot to explain, apart from when you work for certain factions in Waterdeep or elsewhere in the world, any worlds of Dungeons and Dragons, you will get renown for completing missions. Now, renown within itself doesn't really mean anything, but it is a trackable statistic. So, for example, right now, you are currently at 2 renown with the Grey Hands, which basically puts you at the lowest rung of an initiate, right? You also have none renown with the Harpers, but that's because, as someone kindly pointed out in the YouTube comments, you actually haven't returned to the moneylender and haven't handed in your mission, right? The information that you've learned. But were you to do that, you would be at renown 1, and you also have 1 point of renown with the dubious Black Network, or the Gentarim, which is perhaps maybe a criminal organization, definitely not a very salubrious organization. So, but you did do a job for them, and whilst you're not technically members, you do have a point of renown. Now, renown is cumulative, and you could go all the way up to 50 with an organization, and the next rank in any organization is reached when you achieve at least 3 points of renown. The dog just did an acrobatic trick. So basically, what does renown do for you, and what can you redeem it for? Well, you can redeem it for various favors and
dog
assistance.
tricks.
Dog tricks.
I mean, if you really want to see dog tricks performed, maybe you should have joined some different factions. But yeah. In one of the examples of how renown works for you, last session you got an assistance from a cleric, Bosus Brockstone, which was bestowed to you by Roger Safar, the Blackstaff, the High Wizard of Waterdeep, and Bosus basically is a mechanical effect of having renown. You didn't quite have enough renown for such a favor, but I fudged the rules there slightly just to make it work more narratively.
No,
They were very cool.
Yes.
We want you. We are not. We will not have anything but.
Okay. Well, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
So that's sort of how renown works. I also wanted to bring up fan art, actually, because we have
Yes.
last week, whilst we were streaming our game live, we had some fan art done.
Why didn't that work? There we go.
There we go, of Rogan Morbash by Nicola Odick, I believe. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description to Nicola's Instagram account where they have more art. But the piece is fantastic. It's from when Rogan was trying to swim, but he couldn't quite swim. And therefore, he's quite angry in the water. He's not drowning because he had a potion of water breathing. That's
Just
sort
grumpy.
of the story. Yeah, just grumpy. Just
very
really grumpy and
Sitting on the bottom
disappointed.
of the sea.
Having a
grumpy.
tantrum. Okay, shall we get into previously on Waterdeep Dragon Heist? The companions are on a hunt for the culprit of the explosion in Trollskull Alley, a fireball that rocked the neighborhood and caused 11 fatalities right next to their brand new tavern, Morbash Manor. After narrowing down the suspects to an automaton-like figure and an injured dark-hooded man, our party set off to ask Vajra Safar for assistance. Not only did she procure a cleric, Bosus Brockstone, to interrogate the deceased victims of the blast, but also offered advice to visit the House of Inspired Hands. Finally, Vajra, the High Wizard of Waterdeep, asked to investigate an arrival of a young dragon on the Bay of Waterdeep in the hopes that it won't disturb Dragondown, an annual Waterdavian fair. After finding out that Zelifan, the dragon, poses no threat and that Rogan's axe might be more valuable than imagined, they returned to the city to interrogate the deceased. But before they could get to the morgue, the festivities of Dragondown were disrupted by 2 hulking trolls with wooden dragon head-shaped helmets, rampaging through the city. With the trolls down, our heroes rise from battle victorious, their deed witnessed by many denizens, some of whose lives they've just saved.
Dun dun dun.
How about that? You are heroes.
How about them bananas?
Everyone
At
cheers
last.
on. Everyone's happy. Everyone's saluting you. More
Like-
people are saluting like the Griffin Riders because they're cooler than you. They've
They're
got
definitely cooler. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
They arrived a bit late.
well,
Tardy.
yeah. But
They're
each
one
of
of
you took
3 things that freelancers require. They're cheap. They do good work, but they're late. So 2 out of 3 is not bad.
You say we're heroes at last, but we've been going at this for like 2 days, like since the tavern opened, right?
I mean, yeah, technically the tavern's only been open for 2 days.
Yeah.
You've
I
been
guess this is the
adventuring for a
first
little
time
bit longer.
someone's witnessed our ability, like our actual deeds of good, really, like a crowd.
We are deeds of good.
Yeah. What do you
We are
do?
the 4 deeds of good.
How do you behave yourself?
How do
Like,
we
how do
behave
we
ourselves?
react?
Yeah. How do you? Yeah.
Oh, I
Everyone's
see.
cheering. Everyone. Like, what do you do?
I don't behave myself ever.
That's a good question. I feel like Aris would doesn't think that anything that's happened is actually particularly special, and he might want to melt away into the crowd, or for us to get on with what we originally intended to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
Gina
Ro-
starts playing a
Oh.
song
There we go.
I knew it.
about a troll.
About
I think-
it all.
I think Rogan would probably puff out his chest, and this would be like the kind of noise that he has been waiting for in a lot of ways, kind of like some kind of validation that he's needed for a long time. So it'd probably be kind of like nodding like knowingly, like this is right.
What about
he
Marche?
feels at home.
Yeah, he feels at home. Yeah.
I don't know what Marche is doing. Just looking kind of bewildered.
Skip, skip.
By skip. Bewildered by everything that's happened. Like he didn't quite know, I think, what he was getting himself into when, like, all he wanted to do really was kind of escape where he was and what he was doing. And I think Marche is feeling a little bit like, not like he doesn't fit in, but like he doesn't, not that he doesn't fit into the party, but he doesn't fit into this situation.
Role of a hero.
This role of a hero, yeah.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
feel like a hero, and suddenly you are.
Yeah,
right?
kind of.
Yeah,
Kind of
okay.
maybe imposter syndrome.
Mm.
But in a weird kind of way, really.
So I guess a couple of you are embracing the moment, and a couple of you are sort of slinking away, right? Do the ones who are embracing the moment, do you say anything to the crowd? Because like people are sort of cheering on, and like do you just sort of bow and leave, or do you actually take this opportunity to address people somehow?
No, I kind of want to poke one of the people that's trying to walk away. Like, hey, walk around with this, I don't know, grab a thing in which you can collect money. Go just, and while I
Hat.
put on a performance, like, hey, we defeated the trolls, we're safe. Well, let's continue the festivities. Woohoo.
Okay, cool. Gina, would you give me a performance check then?
Yes. Performance. It's a 18.
Wow. Okay, so
That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
that's pretty spectacular. I'll let you describe how this goes, but I will say that there is a sort of a seamless blend of like everyone was just running for their lives, but in somehow through this all of this chaos, you have not only emerged as heroes, right? But you've also captured the crowd's spirit, if that makes sense. And you seem to be in total control of like people are forgetting about the trolls. They're just cheering. It's almost like the festivities like are slowly going back into like nothing happened, right? That's sort of your achievement with this song, if that makes sense.
Is the effigy still on fire?
Yes, very much. And
So I
it's
wanna
meant
s-
to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Gina takes out her lute, goes stand in front of the burning, so she has like a rocking background for her performance, and just like goes like attention or something to just like we hooray and just does a like starts
Ooh.
playing a song about how if you work together you can achieve anything.
Ah,
That's a
Ah.
nice
how
song.
heartwarming.
That is really nice.
Does it come across as sarcastic?
No, I'm trying not to. That's
I think Rogan, obviously he's wanted this kind of like fame and notoriety, so he would be calling us the heroes of Morbash Manor. That's why he'd be telling
Yeah.
people we were, because it's
Yeah, I saw that coming.
a status thing. So it'd be like, if you want to see the heroes of Morbash Manor, be sure to come to see us at Morbash Manor. Probably needs to work on the patter a little bit, but
but if Gina catches you saying that, she will incorporate that into the song.
there we go.
So that's
That's
like
cool.
the verse is gonna be like the chorus is gonna be, oh, we're the heroes of Morbash Manor, blah 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 blah.
I knew this was a marketing.
Come and see us
opportunity.
at Morbash Manor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's singing along. Everyone's cheering.
Morbash Manor.
I mean,
nice.
everyone's
I
having
like
a good time. It's like the trolls weren't even there, right? So
I mean, are they? Sorry, I forgot what happened at the end. Did they run away?
no,
Or they were-
you took
killed
down
them.
one of the trolls.
So the body is still there.
Yeah.
Oh, good
Yeah.
lord. Okay.
Yeah,
You could be like stood on the troll
That's-
singing.
playing the
You could
guitar.
parade
Yeah.
his
The
helmet.
troll is the stage.
That is
Patrol his
horrible.
helmet. They were wearing strange helmets, right?
They were
Yeah,
wearing strange helmets. They had
You successfully mocked one of them into fleeing because of their helmet.
yeah.
Yes, that's true.
It's too tiny for his brain.
Yeah.
Or like no, his brain was I don't
His
remember
brain is
what it
too
was.
tiny for
Yeah.
the helmet. Do they have anything on them? These trolls.
No, the only thing they had was their smelly robes, covering
I
up
don't need
some
that.
of the more private bits, and also they had
Sure.
a helmet, but that was like it wasn't really even functional as a helmet. It was just
Does Gina's song include lyrics about trolls' private bits and the fact that a smelly cloth is covering them?
I hope not.
No,
Oh.
because there's children present. So
yeah.
There you
it
go.
needs to be.
If it was
Yeah.
an
All
evening
ages.
tune, it was a tune in the tavern late at night. Woo!
I see. Okay.
Then it would be steamy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that could be part of your advertisement, right? If you want something more steamy.
Go to Morbash Man.
Or if you want to hear another song from Gina, she's got
Right,
more
yeah.
songs to sing. More songs
Yeah.
to sing.
Live
fan-
music, drinks, food.
this
Go.
is excellent.
Troll free.
Can I take
Go
one of the
100%
troll's
troll
hair?
free.
You can
Ooh.
take some of the trolls hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. Scoop.
Snip, snip, snip.
What?
Snip, snip.
Well,
Gonna add that.
I'm gonna
eventually.
keep my comment to myself there, but
Would you like some troll hair?
No.
Am I taking it all away from you?
No, no,
There's
no, no,
plenty
no.
to go round. Like they're quite hairy,
no.
so you can have some too if you like. I'll snip a bit off for you as well.
I imagine it was like
Are you saying
the-
that as Elaine or as Marche? Because something
As
happened to
Elaine.
Marche's accent.
I imagine it would be
Saying
like
that is
toe hair.
Ooh, I
Nice
should
bit of-
write that
nice bit of-
down.
Nice bit of
Or
foot,
toenail
foot hair.
clippings.
You do like feet or not like feet? Something along those lines.
Sandals.
Sandals.
It has a foot
No
thing.
feet, right?
Marche doesn't he?
Marche has a foot thing.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, seems to be.
Troll toe hair.
You actually putting that in your character sheet?
Yeah.
Good. Fantastic.
Is there
who-
anyone of? Go on, sorry.
And I was going to be stupid. I was just going to say, who knows what that could make in the future? What potion I could make with troll toe hair?
Time will tell.
I think we all know what potion that will make. After some time, you started to get a feeling that people are probably gonna start moving on, and instead of ending it on a whimper, you decided to make an exit whilst the crowd is still hot, right? Everyone still wants a little bit more of you, so you didn't hang around for too long. and you almost forgotten that you had a very not power hungry, sorry, a very fight hungry cleric with you, Bosus Brockstone. She's encouraging you that, hey, look, it's time to go to the morgue, because after that, I hear there's an arm wrestling match at the Yawning portal, and I want to go do that. So, come on, let's go.
To the morgue.
To the morgue.
To the morgue.
To the morgue.
Going to the morgue. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's
We've got to
amazing.
talk to a dead person.
I
Sure
mean,
to be a hit.
we needed
It's a very sad song. Like very slow. Like meh.
A folk song, maybe.
we
Someone's
needed a
playing an
jingle for the
accordion.
segue.
Someone's playing an accordion.
Okay, so the morgue is
Oh,
at
and
the.
you're there already.
Yeah, you're there already. It wasn't a long walk because you were in Castle Ward,
Okay.
and the morgue is also in Castle Ward. So
Okay, cool.
it didn't take you long to get there. In North Ward, which is where Morbash Manor is. So yeah, it didn't take you long to
We
get
didn't
there.
have to go on any talking horses this time.
No.
No. It's just in the City Watch station, so it's nothing spectacular. In fact, it's strangely reminiscent of the City Watch station that you visited on the very southern edge of the Dock Ward, where you had to clear out those spiders. Not quite the same building. There's some differences, but whoever built them must have built them at the same time, and to fulfill the same function. Also, notably, it is in the color of the North Ward, which is
orange?
green and orange,
Yeah.
rather than Dock Ward colors. So, it doesn't take you long to convince the City Watch to let you interrogate the victims.
Dock Ward sounds like an evil villain from Who Framed Roger Rabbit or something.
Yeah, yeah. Especially since you've been sent by Blackstaff herself, and you have one of Blackstaff's assistants with you.
Oh no, we're not bad guys. We're generally good, right? This isn't a thing where we've accidentally become.
No, there's nothing. No, you're part of the Grey Hands. You're legit people. Everything's fine.
Okay.
So you were allowed in the morgue, and Boses tells you, right? Okay, speak with dead. This is how it works. I can I can speak to any of these people. I will translate. And you can ask 5 questions. I can't guarantee the answers are going to be exactly what you want to hear, because you're not actually talking to the actual person. You're sort of talking to an echo of the person, if that makes sense. So it's not really them. It's just a semblance of them. I haven't got enough reagents to talk to all 11 of these people, but I have enough reagents to talk to 2 of them. So you better make your choice good.
We should think a bit about 5 questions then, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. That's a good idea.
They don't have to be the same 5 questions to both the people that you talk to. So it's just who you pick and.
So who were the 3? There was the one that was getting
gnome?
chased.
The gnome. Yeah.
Yes, the gnome. Yes.
Yeah.
Genome, and then the people chasing the genome.
Yes.
So we need one of those, don't we?
Yeah, it's very easy to identify them because there's only one gnome. So, that would be the gnome that was being chased.
Genome.
Yeah. And the people that were chasing them, you have surmised this from the battle scene that they were
okay.
Are you okay?
Genome.
Oh no, you broke Elaine.
Yeah, it's a street name for the gnome.
Yeah.
It's how he's
What I like is it's always the softest jokes that get Elaine. It's always the softest thing you could possibly think up. Breaker.
Yeah. That's generally how it
Genome
goes.
is it's I don't know. It's just funny because it's something entirely different from gnome. Anyway, sorry. No,
That's
please,
fine.
please.
The genome, and there was people. There was people. 2 of the people following them. So one of those. So
Yeah. As I was saying, it's easy to identify them because one of them is a gnome, and the other two
Genome.
are wearing
Genome.
Zhentarim, not livery, but like there's a
garb.
patch of a black snake and stuff. So it's pretty easy to identify them. So
what questions? 5 questions.
By the way,
get
do
to
we
ask.
know? We don't know the names of any of these people.
I don't
Do we?
think we
Do
No
we need
idea.
to know? Is that
You
a
haven't-
question we want to ask?
you can ask them their
Oh,
names. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
One question? What's your name? Could do that.
Genome Chomsky.
That would be amazing if that was the gnome's name.
Now it's gonna be.
I mean, it could be.
Valid name. Could
I
be.
feel like no matter what I say now, you're going to be disappointed.
Although that would be weird. Like it would be like in real life, one of us being called human.
Could
Wouldn't
one
it?
question just be what happened before you got attacked,
Yes.
or
Oh,
like
and,
what?
Did you see what happened?
So just a quick question outside of character. Is this going to be like when you make a wish and how you word the question is like super duper important? Otherwise, you're going to
Probably.
get some
a
absolute.
dry turkey sandwich.
You're going to get some absolute random nonsense as an answer.
Who knows? Who knows
Okay,
how this
all right.
works?
All right.
Maybe it works like that. Maybe it works exactly how you described
Well,
it.
can we ask her that?
Poses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moses.
Bosis already told you that she's completely not in charge of
Sure, that
what
it's
the
like
answers are.
echoes.
It could be anything, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
There are no expectations, basically. So that's...
I feel like with the gnome, it would be helpful to know their name, their reason for apparently coming to us.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Why?
I
Why more
suppose-
Bash
Why
Manor?
were you coming to Morbash Manor? Why were
that's
you
smart.
running towards Morbash Manor?
I mean,
Maybe
I'm
Some
Maybe we
also
should think-
gonna say be flexible because you might want to have questions based on
Yeah,
things
on
you
the
learn. So
reply.
we could maybe think chronologically. Like we know they were going to Morbash Manor, but why were they going to Morbash Manor and where were they coming from and who was chasing them? Kind of backwards chronologically. So where did they come from? Who was
Okay.
chasing them?
Yeah.
Why were they? Yeah.
Who, what, where, and why?
okay, are you ready for this?
Nope.
Is it the gnome first?
I have a question. Does it hurt when you revive them to talk to them?
I don't revive. I told you it's not them. It's like an echo of the person.
Like a memory.
Yes.
Ah, okay. As long as it doesn't hurt.
No, it does not hurt them. In fact, wherever they are, they could be anywhere, really. They could be banging down the doors of Kalimvor's realm, or I don't know, anywhere.
Okay.
She like kind of closes her eyes and she mutters something you don't quite understand. You know, she's just sprinkles something over the body, over the corpse, and suddenly like an apparition almost, but not quite ghostly, but more like if you think of the Star Wars holograms, that kind of thing, you know, like hovers over a person, and like a bluish simulacrum of
okay.
what they look like. That's
Okay.
sort of see-through.
Okay.
You know, like if on Photoshop you reduce the opacity, that kind of thing. And they just sort of hovered there. There isn't any emotion or anything like that. And Bosa says, "Well, okay, go on, ask your questions."
Who wants to speak
That's
to a
that's
goat-
not one
to
of the
a-
questions.
to a
No, no,
ghost?
no.
I'm not asking.
No.
I'm not asking
No,
them that.
no,
I'm talking
no.
between
No.
us. It's not like the genie wishes. I'm not getting tricked.
Can we wish for more wishes?
Who are you?
And then Bosa goes, "Who are you?"
goodness me.
And the reply comes, "My name is Dalakar."
A fancy name.
That's a lovely name.
Dalakar, why were you headed to Morbash Manor?
I heard, and Bosus goes, Dalakar, why were you headed to Morbash Manor?
Oh my god.
I heard about a group of adventurers who rescued Lord Neverember's son from the Jantarim and thought the Stone of Galore would be safe in their hands for the time being. I was on my way to deliver it to them, planning to come back and reclaim it after I eluded my pursuers. And then the fireball went off.
He had the Stone of Galore on him.
Do you know what happened to the Stone of Galore?
Are you sure you want me to ask him that?
No.
That's question number 3.
No.
They blew up.
Clearly,
They did blow up, that's
It
true.
was a bad question. Sorry.
Should we ask them if they knew who was chasing them?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to get to. Yeah.
Gina, do you want to?
No, go ahead.
Dalakar, who was chasing you and why? It's 2 questions, but let's pretend it's 1.
Dalakar, who is chasing you and why? Dalakar's voice, quite calm and still, comes. I think I was chased by the Jantarim, or maybe the Xanathar Guild. I stole the Stone of Galore from Xanathar. And I suspect they knew I had it.
What is something we still need to know from him?
I'm curious as to why he would
Stole
want to
it.
bring it to us, of all the different possible people in Waterdeep and organizations.
Wait, he
I don't
said
know if
because like, oh, I don't
Seem
know.
like we could handle ourselves. I mean, my suspicion would be because
Because we have
we're-
something to do with.
we're not tied up with any of the local gangs. We're separate. We're independent.
Well, yeah.
He
I know
did
that.
say, his words were that you have rescued Lord Neverember's son.
Yeah.
We're
So
the good
maybe
guys.
Because we're something to do with Lord Neverember's son. But why did he steal it and then try and bring it to us? That's weird.
What we could ask him what he was going to tell us when he delivered the Stone of Galore. Like he would arrive with the Stone of Galore. What would he have said to us?
Yeah.
At the time.
What was his intention of doing it afterwards? Because he said he was going to pick it up again. Where was he going to take it? Which side is he in alliance with? Is it the Grey Hands? Is it the Harpers? I mean, we don't want to mention the Harpers, but we might need to know where he is, where his alliances are.
I do wonder if he had some inclination that we were Harper related. I think
Quickly
that's an
now,
interesting
because
point.
the spell is going to fade.
Yeah. Do you wanna ask him that?
Me?
Or you or Rogan? I like
Whoever,
that.
Gina. I think Gina's.
Yeah, okay. I wanna. Dalakar, what were you gonna do with the stone afterwards? Oh no! What? Which group are you part of? Is that a good one?
Dalakar, which group are you part of? I work for Lord Dagald Neverember.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, is it sensible to ask what he was expecting us to do with it? Like, what was his expectation of us?
Or where does he expect the stone to be taken now?
Yes.
Because then we can get it for him and make sure his death is not in vain.
My only concern is he didn't know which gang was chasing him. He thought maybe it could be the Chantaran or maybe the Xanathars. So it doesn't sound like he really knew who was chasing him. He just knew
Yeah.
He was
they
very
were
close.
chasing him
Yeah.
and why, but not specifically who it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I assumed that he was going to give the stone back to Lord Neverember.
Well, let's ask
two.
him. Let's ask him.
No assumptions. Yeah, I like that.
While he's still alive.
How about you ask Marche?
So I'm asking. Right, I want to get this question right. So I'm asking him, where was he expecting the stone to be taken? Right? Is that correct?
I guess so. Who was he delivering the stone to? What was...
Well, he was delivering it to us.
Yeah.
But why was he...
Temporarily for us to keep safe, to then take away from us to take somewhere else.
I think why is better, yeah.
So, why were you delivering this... No, why... what were you expecting us to do? No, what...
What would you have said to us upon delivering the stone?
Oh my God.
And then, I guess then would explain.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you have said to us on delivering the stone?
What would you have said to us upon delivering the stone?
Oh, goodness me.
I would have told you that I have a job for you and I have an important artifact in possession and I needed you to keep it and me safe for a while, and I would have promised you a large sum of money.
That was the fifth question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Well, this makes sense now, though, that this person clearly trusted us and came to us, was trying to come to us for protection, and as we can see, they were clearly in danger because they were attacked.
Really sad. That's really sad.
It is a bit sad.
Is that all of our questions? Is that all
Yeah,
round?
it is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. It was lovely to speak to you.
The ghost is gone already.
Oh,
not the ghost.
shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it just
whatever
after the
then.
fifth question, it just sort of went plick, and it was like it was never there.
Kaiser Soze.
Yep. So, do you want me to cast Speak with Dead on these other two hoodlums?
You said isn't it only one more?
Yes, one more.
Okay,
I will have to pick one of them.
Okay, on one.
The one on the left or the one on the right?
Hoodlums. Does it matter?
I don't know.
Anything different about either of them, do we?
No.
No. One's slightly taller. One has blonde hair. One has dark hair. One has a mustache. The other one has a goatee. You know.
I don't want to speak to someone with a goatee. Let's talk to the mustache.
The one on the left, then. Okay.
The eternal sign of dignity is the mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will cast Speak with Dead now. She once again mutters something over the body, sprinkles something, and the hologram of the man appears with the mustache, not the goatee.
No,
The
good.
dark hair.
Good. We did the right one.
Yeah.
What we can ask this chap? Let me get some straight. So this guy is. Where did we see him?
One of the people that chased Dalakar.
He's one of the people that were, along with the goatee and the moustache, were both chasing Dalakar. Right?
Yeah, and the third person who you've learned hobbled away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But lived. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So
we can ask why.
Dalakar told us that it was either Jentarin or Xanathar that were chasing him. So we can clarify who this person worked for rather than specifically who they were, because I consider them probably just a minion in a gang. So maybe what gang or who.
We don't.
Yeah.
They don't have any insignia on them, do they?
They do, Jentarin.
Oh, they do. They are Jentarin for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right. I see. Yeah. Okay.
So
but
maybe that's a backup question then.
But we could ask them who in the Jentarim have given them this task.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's one thing
asking...
you've learned about the Jentarim is that they are an organization with many different chapters
right?
that are working dependent from each other and stuff.
So should I ask that? Oh, sorry.
I think that that's worth almost like a who sent you sort of thing, and maybe a follow up can be something like what did they intend for you to do, because that might give us a breakdown of what their mission was. Like
Do you
take the
wanna
thing back
ask?
to this place or something. Oh God, okay. Oh God.
This we've got 5 questions, so it's gonna be fine.
It's just you'll be fine, Paul. You'll be fine.
Who sent you?
Who sent you?
Oh God. It's always worse when she does it.
I was sent by the apparition is confused. Erstal Floxen.
Floxen.
That's a good name.
Can I do a perception check or something to see if they just don't know who sent them? I know it's an apparition.
You can make an insight check.
Okay. I want to try it just because it seems like they don't really know. So, all right. Let's roll the thing. That's a natural 20.
Ooh.
So
Okay, wow. In a rare, brief moment of insight, Rogan perfectly understands people.
Wow.
You think that it's just because the apparition is sort of trying to interpret the question and understand exactly what it is being asked. It wasn't a moment of confusion because they were like lying or, making stuff up. They were answering the question. It was just, it took them a moment to like put together the phrasing in their heads and make it make sense.
So I guess the only thing that Rogan would be wanting to figure out based on that then is, do we believe that answer reflected our question's intent? I suppose.
Probably, maybe. Who knows? Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, you have a name, right? So,
Yeah.
What was the name again? Sorry.
Erstal Floxen.
Erston Fluxman.
Erstal.
So for next question, I feel like it should be, what was your objective with the stone? Because hopefully they'll be able to tell us like maybe who they took it back to or where they took it back to. Does that make sense?
I guess like what were your orders upon retrieving the stone?
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yeah. You can do it. Go at it. Go at it.
Oh, God. What were your orders upon retrieving the stone?
What were your orders upon retrieving the stone?
Sorry, out of character. I can't even hear Efka through the headphones, right? And it's still deafening me. So it's still very, very piercing.
It's just terrifying.
Good. Okay.
Essie is just like super chill.
In Efka's defense, it does have to transcend the barrier from this side to the other. So it does have to be reasonably loud to get to the ghost ears.
Yes.
Transferred through the Netherlands back to like.
This is true. Sorry, please carry on.
I was supposed to help Erstal take it to Grelland Villa.
Growland. Okay.
Is that like villa as in like a big house villa?
Yeah, you all know this building.
Oh.
It's well known, is it?
It's not only well known. You all stood next to it with Volo as he was giving you the tour, and that's where you bumped into Stephen Drum.
No.
And you were standing next to a big mansion, like a gated off kind of mansion, and Volo told you this is Grelland Villa.
Okay. That's 2 questions so far, is it, we've asked?
This is useful and helpful. This is good so far.
So sorry, what was Growland Villa? Growland Villa
is where he was supposed to take help
taking
Erstal take it to Grelland Villa.
Right. Okay. Where he was taking the stone.
The stone. Do we have any idea? Like, it's described as a stone. It's like, do we know what it looks like?
None of you know what it looks like now.
So I guess we could what
Passed it in the street and we wouldn't have known.
what is the description you were given of the Stone of Galore? How are you gonna find it and take it?
What was the description given of the Stone of Galore? How are you gonna find it and take it?
How many questions is that? Like 3 questions in one.
Oh god, it is in a way.
I don't know. It's just some artifact. Urstel told us it was going to make us filthy rich.
They're doing it for the money.
No, just the same question again. So it sounds like they don't even know what the stone looks like. They're just gonna steal whatever someone is holding and assume that's the stone.
Seems like it.
So we could eventually, if we know we have the stone, trick other people. Like, hey, this is a stone.
That's our third question. We've got 2 questions left.
This is making sense though. Like they just had a job to do, and they might not know that much beyond.
They were hired to chase Dalakar. They were hired on behalf of Urstel Floxan to chase Dalakar, to take the item that Dalakar had, and then once get it, take it to Grelland Villa.
I wonder if it's worth asking, like what. First of all, thinking about what do we want to do next? Like, do we imagine that we'll go to the villa and try and get the stone?
Well, okay, so Marche would know this very well, but you've also, all of you have read over the code legal, right? Which I'm going to, if you give me a second, I'm just going to bring up. And one of the things that's very important here in the code legal, because it's, kind of like lays down some of the basic laws in Waterdeep. One of the things that's really, really important is this particular passage. Which says, if you just give me a hot second.
Does it say some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light?
No, that's Batman.
Gnomes are now known as genomes.
That's also Batman. No. Point 1: crimes against lords, officials, and nobles. Assaulting or impersonating a lord, death. Assaulting or impersonating an official or noble, flogging, imprisonment up to a 10-day, and a fine of up to 500 dragons. Blackmailing an official, flogging, and exile up to 10 years. Bribery or attempted bribery of an official, exile up to 20 years, and a fine up to double the bribe amount. Murder of a lord, official, or noble, death. Using magic to influence a lord without consent, imprisonment up to a year, and fine or damages up to 1,000 dragons. And finally, using magic to influence an official without consent, fine or damages up to 1,000 dragons and edict. So I bring this up because Marche would know that dealing with nobility is not easy. You can't just go knock on their door and go like, "Hi, hello, I've come to interrogate you about this thing that's happening," right? So it's for you to decide how you proceed, and it really is completely open, right? But you do have a location. However, that location is somewhat prohibitive to you based on your current status and class.
Because we don't have enough renown.
Mostly because you're not nobles.
Right, I see.
I mean, Rogan claims to be a noble, but so far no one's recognized him. So,
Slander. 2 questions.
So yeah, I'm wondering if at this point it's like we should maybe take a few moments to think about what we want to do next. Whether that's like whether we imagine that we're going to burst in there and rescue the stone, or report this to someone else, because we might want to ask like how many people they're working with, or where things are kept, or something that might help us with whatever our next stage is. If we want to, like, I'm not saying we have to like break in, and there might be another way to do things, but this is a chance to probe someone for info about their org.
Right. Do we think we can get in another way then?
Do we want to do that? Do we want to go and
Well,
get the
this is
stone?
true. This is true.
I mean, my thoughts were, how were they going to gain access? And I suppose maybe with Urstel Floxan, or if there's a special entrance of sorts.
Yeah.
Like
We could ask that.
So, they were going to go deliver this item, but how were they going to gain access? Because that might help us get into this location.
That's a good one.
How were you going to get access to Grelland Villa? There's a magical lock on the gate. It opens to Lord Grelland, Lady Grelland, the bodyguards, and it's also been set to open to Urstel.
That's worth knowing.
Should we try to gather information if they agreed upon if things went wrong, a meetup place or where we could find Urstel?
Yeah, I like the idea
That
of
could be
if
useful.
Urstel's the key to getting in. I like the idea of tracking Urstel
Speak
down.
to Urstel.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yo, where Urstel at?
Oh yeah, she's gonna repeat that.
Yo, where Urstel at?
Nice.
I don't know.
Oh,
Well, we didn't know that was going to be the answer.
bottoms.
Now I'm thinking, rather than asking where Urstel is, could have asked.
And the apparition flickers out.
How do you contact Urstel upon failure as a backup or something? But
I mean, you got 9 out of 10. I would say
Yeah,
that's pretty
I
good going. Yeah.
I think we did well for we have a much better picture of what was going on now.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Who,
That's me then. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
go. Do you know of any good tavern where I could stay?
Yo,
recommend
Morbish
whilst I'm in
Manor is
Waterdeep.
pretty good.
Indeed.
yo,
Wait,
Sorry.
like your tavern? You have a tavern?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Can you give me a discount on a room?
Yes.
Possibly. We'll talk
can
about
we-
it when you get there.
can we quote them the normal rate and say it's a discount?
Oh, you could, but then you
Wow,
probably have to
rude.
decept him.
I
Yeah.
mean, they seem like a good person, so I think we'd give them a discount.
Okay.
And a
Just a
drink
very
on the
slight
house.
10% off.
There's plenty
free
of arm
breakfast.
wrestling there.
One free breakfast.
One
And a
free
free-
breakfast. Excellent. I have big breakfasts. Also, do you have any local fist fights or anything like that?
I
You
think
could-
that's
you could
for the
make
Yawning
some.
portal.
Okay.
Okay.
You could make some encouraging them to just get fighting with people in the
No,
tavern.
not
That's
in our tavern. Well,
No?
your tavern. I'm just being there, of course. But
our tavern. Our
I
tavern.
like a good fight in a tavern. Perhaps you could make a fighting club in our
Oh
tavern.
wow.
in the vinegar room.
In the
that sounds like a Fight Club location.
It does,
Oh,
doesn't
we're
it?
gonna meet up in the vinegar room, mate.
I mean, you won't be able to smell the sweat through the
That's
vinegar,
very true.
so there is.
Loser
There is
has
that.
to drink a glass of vinegar or something like that.
Well,
I feel like
Wow.
this is going in a unsavory direction.
yeah. Let's pivot away to
It's quite a pickle. Mm.
yeah.
Ha-ha.
Oh.
So we got it was Vadra that told us to do this, right? And go here and gave us so this is information that they might know more about. Like this is quite good intel.
Well, I mean, Vajra only suggested what you could do based on what you told her, right? She wasn't particularly interested in your plight or anything like that.
Sure. Oh, that's true.
Weren't
Yeah.
we gonna go to the morgue first because it was on the way to the person that we had to get the information about the talking horse to? Didn't we go like that way, or was that because?
So you were going also to the other suggestion was to go to the House of the Inspired Hands to figure out
yeah.
more about the because you were told that the description of the automaton matches that of a nimble, right?
Right.
Yes.
Which is something that they have I completely forget the name of the festival right now, but in a festival.
Automaton Festival.
Huh?
The Automaton
Day of Wonder.
Right, yeah.
Day of
Day of
Wonders.
Wonders.
Parade.
There you go. The Day of Wonders parade. Thank you very much. I'm a bad GM. So yeah, it's something they have in the Day of Wonders parade, and
You can't remember everything.
those are provided by the House of Inspired Hands, which is a temple of Gond, god of inventions and.
So
various things.
we learned some stuff that the Myrtle would be interested in knowing,
Yes.
and we'd gained some renown with the Harpers
You would gain some renown with the Harpers if you actually submit your mission, yes.
if we submit the mission, and also maybe the Harpers with their spider-like tendrils of knowledge might know where Urstel Floxan is as well.
Yeah,
for example,
that might be. I feel like they might have some special secret info. Also, did we report back on the dragon?
No.
Really? To Blackstar?
You have. Yeah.
we did.
We kind of very quickly glossed over that for...
Because there was no reply from her whatsoever.
Oh, she was
Like,
happy.
okay, it's
She was
good,
happy.
yeah.
She was like,
Yeah.
oh, good, yeah, okay. Yeah. So the question, I guess, is now, do we want to go to the House of Inspired Hands, or do we want to first go see the Myrtle, tell him what we learned, and see perhaps maybe if he has some information he could share with us?
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know. Both are interested. I'm kind of more interested in the House of Inspired Hands just because it's curious and strange, and this
It's got a cool name.
Muppet thing was bizarre.
Yes, well, you can't really tell because you've never seen the puppet thing, but
We think
It was
probably
so
was,
curious
though,
and
right?
strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Both are valuable. I'm just personally slightly leaning toward going to this strange invention-y temple-y place.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
But I mean, if we lose the stone completely, then the longer we wait until we find the stone, how further it will be down the ranks of whatever organization it's gonna land into.
That's a good point.
And the temple is not gonna go anywhere.
That's a good point.
What do you think we should do then, Gina?
It dragged down like the gnome, like we need to save Genome.
Gina,
Like he didn't die in vain. It's such a shame. He came to us and we weren't there for him.
we were inside the building.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean.
Where do you think we should head next then?
Well, that's a good question, but possibly just the like we can't really knock on Grelland's villa, like the door, like hey,
there is no
Got
got
door.
the stone
There's
right here.
there's a massive fence and a massive yard separating the
I'm
manor
small.
itself.
I can step through the fence, probably.
Sure.
I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I am worried if we leave that job for too long, or we should like. Who was mostly interested into this for the stone? Who was it? Who wanted the stone more as well? It got mentioned by what's his name, the Harper guy.
Renner?
No, the one we saw in the theater.
Mert? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
because it got
Well.
mentioned while we were in the theater again.
Mm-hmm.
So what if we go to Mirth, give him his information about the talking horse because we still needed to do that.
Well, yes.
Also
true.
mention the stone that we heard explain like the explosion situation, and then maybe he has some guidance or help, or we can help. Like he knows what to do with the information.
Could know about Urstel Floxan, where
Yeah.
to find them.
Yes, that's a good idea. Let's go and see Mert.
Okay.
But
Are you making fun of me, Gina?
no.
I think you were.
Sounds like we've made a choice. Sounds like we're going to see Mert the Myrtle.
Okay. Mert the moneylender.
Mert the moneylender. Mert the
Where did
turtle.
Mert the Myrtle come from? Is that your,
think Rogan's
your
probably
nickname
trying
for
to-
him?
I'm gonna say so. Out of character, I just forgot his name. In
Oh,
character,
okay.
maybe Rogan's trying to play like he doesn't know Mert very well
Yes.
still, even though he owes him 1,600 dragons, which is gold. Owes him a lot of money. But he's still trying to play down that he doesn't know him very well. Let's say that's what happened there.
You're good friends with him. I like your pet name for him. Myrtle Myrtle. Myrtly Myrt. Myrtle Myrt.
Myrt.
So, you travel to the Sea Ward, which is one of the fanciest wards in Waterdeep. You've been there before. You went to Lightsinger Theatre in the Sea Ward, where you met Myrt for the first time. But you were told that if you wanted to see him again, you could visit his manor. And his manor is indeed like, something else. It's spectacular. It's big fenced off kind of territory and one of the, like most prestigious places in the Sea Ward. And just, Myrt's manor looks spectacular. Upon arrival, you are told that by one of the staff that Myrt is not at home. And if you want to see him, you would have to return in a day's time. Now, in a rare sort of moment of breaking and giving you a look behind the scenes of behind the fourth wall, if you will, right? I don't want to make it seem like I'm railroading you to a particular
but you
destination. There's a 10% chance anytime you visit Myrt that he's not at home.
Okay.
I just rolled a die, and it came up a 1, and that's...
He's a busy man. He's a busy
man.
Busy money lending.
He's a busy man.
Goes.
Myrtle.
Comes and goes. Yeah, Merlin, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Myrt's,
sometimes...
Myrt's got a myrtle. That's what they say. Myrt's got a myrtle.
Sometimes how the world works. People aren't there. They do other things.
Yeah, that's it. Yes,
Yeah.
right. I don't know about it.
Up to the House of Inspired Hands. I'm
the
glad
House
we
of
had the
Inspired
discussion.
Hands.
I'm glad we had the discussion.
Hey, sometimes these things happen, right? Okay.
Now to the House of Inspired Hands. Let's go.
The House of Inspired Hands looks like a cross between a temple and a workshop. The symbol of Gond, a toothed cog with 4 spokes, is displayed prominently, and you see the silhouette of a humanoid shape perching on the rooftop. It extends an arm, releasing a tiny metal sparrow into the sky. The bird does a few loops
That's
through
not
the air
sparrow makes.
and then veers right towards you. Please roll initiative.
Oh,
What?
What? This is rude.
Well,
Rude sparrow.
let's see what happens. Oh, that's good.
15.
19.
Woo! No sparrows getting the drop on Aris.
19. Sorry, who was 15? Rogan?
Correct.
And Gina is also 15.
Rogan
Nice.
and Gina. Gina, 15. Aris, 19. And then Marche?
but 9.
9.
Marche is but
Okay.
9.
9.
Right, so there is no way any of your weaponry could reach the figure that is on the rooftop. It's way too far. But the sparrow is flying towards you at tremendous speed. You have an opportunity to do something about that. What you do about that is up to you on your turn. First to go is Aris.
Catch it.
I feel like Aris would immediately want to duck. I don't think he's expecting to be attacked by this thing. I think it's hopefully it just wants to see who we are, or it has a nice message, or it's part of a welcoming.
Okay, sure.
committee.
You get a +2 bonus to AC whilst you just
no.
like dive.
That's fair.
Gina, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm already a bit smaller, so I'm just hoping it will just fly over me anyways. Because compared to the others in the group, I am the least target probably. So I can just mock it viciously. And
Wow.
guess what? Gina's gonna yell like, "Do I have a parrot joke?" Do I have one ready already? No, I don't.
You don't have a parrot joke ready.
No, I'm ashamed of myself.
Who are you?
Well,
Who am I? I don't know. So I'm just like, the sparrow, you're not even a parrot. Like, it's not good, but like I needed to compare it to a parrot.
okay.
Yeah.
What type of damage does this thing, this vicious mockery do?
Psychic damage.
Right. Okay. Well, nothing happens.
Yeah, I figured, but I still wanted to install it.
Rogan, the sparrow is nearly right in front of you now. What do you do?
Can I catch it?
You can try for sure.
How does it appear to be catchable in any way?
I mean, it's a metal sparrow just, launching itself at you.
I mean, in theory, anything is catchable.
Yeah.
It's just the all about the scale of your hands and your...
So far we've got a sparrow's like dive bombing us off the top of a roof, and when you roll initiative, like just as like a D&D style thing, it's safe to assume it is combat is ensuing. It's not.
Well, something's happening.
Something's
happening, but we're not sure what. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I could pop a finger out. See if it sits on my finger.
It might.
That would be adorable.
Have a little chat.
Okay.
You will bite your finger off.
We'll find out.
You're popping out your finger, yes?
It's a finger, but it's real strong in case of combat. It's a
Combat
defensive.
finger.
Combat defensive finger move.
Okay. It's the sparrow's turn. Sorry, Moshe, you don't get to act yet.
What are you going to do?
So, it basically just flies directly into Rogan.
Shoot.
There's a big clang against your metal armor. But that is a 4 versus your armor class.
Okay, so that's just absolutely nothing.
No, it just sort of, kablams into your armor.
Clunk.
And then it just crashes and is destroyed on the floor.
Oh.
And that's it.
Blimey.
Okay. You see the figure on the rooftop retreat.
Can I quickly can I just stab my dagger in there or like, yeah.
I was gonna pick it up, but okay.
You can pick it up afterwards, but I'm gonna stab it like.
So like you've already stabbed it.
Machinery.
Sure, Gina. It's
stab it and then pick it up.
I mean, if Marche wants to do anything, Marche has technically initiative.
True.
Pick it up and give it to Rogan. Sorry. There you go.
Rogan would then hold it out if Gina wants to stab it.
Okay. No.
Why not?
All right. So bird flew at me, bounced off me, hit the floor. Then it was technically Marche's turn. Marche has collected the bird off the floor and handed it to Rogan. Rogan is, I suppose, securely pocketing the now busted sparrow.
Fantastic. You see the figure on the rooftop. Retreat through the attic window. It sort of just disappears, and you don't see it anymore. And that's it.
That's strange.
I mean, what I would gather from this personally is that if that's the best this thing has to have in terms of combat, it doesn't really seem like something to be too scared of, but who's to say? So Rogan would be like,
Could we tell, so the figure on the rooftop, could we tell whether it was an adult or a child or...
an automaton?
Or automaton?
Or
yeah.
automaton?
It was... I will be... Okay, give me a perception check.
I
Like a
will do
retroactive perception check to see how much you've seen.
Uh-huh. Natural 20.
Okay, well, Marche, whilst everyone was getting busy, you were observing the figure. Yeah. You did notice its movements to be quite sort of unhuman-like and mechanical.
Uh-huh.
Right. So you have a sense that this might be,
an automa.
Yeah, an automaton of a nimble right is what they were. Is
nimble
what they're
right,
called.
sorry,
Yeah.
Is
What do
that
you do?
something that
Cool.
Marche would have shared with the group?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Feels like you shared it with a group.
I have shared it with
Yeah.
the group.
What do you
Yeah.
do next? You're in front of this temple/workshop, big grand building in the Sea Ward.
Well, hopefully we're still able to, as normal visiting people, walk in calmly through the front door.
I mean, we have just been attacked immediately upon arrival, so maybe we should walk in,
But
guardedly.
You
I
are-
wonder- Sorry.
Sorry, please. Actually, I don't want to interrupt. Please continue.
Oh no, I was just going to say I wonder if this was an error, like it was just someone playing with the sparrow, or the sparrow flew away or something. It was
I
an
mean,
error.
it does feel a lot like they threw it at us. It didn't cause any harm though, so maybe we shouldn't be too.
Yes, it was
rash.
very
Doesn't
small.
feel like much of an attack to me.
No, no. I don't think we should be too concerned.
Also,
No.
with your perception check,
Yeah.
you will have noticed that it didn't throw the sparrow. It
It
just
flew.
released it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the sparrow flew on its own.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Shall-
So
shall we-
I don't think it was thrown at us. I think it just flew at us. Perhaps it meant to fly off. And accidentally flew in our direction. Yes.
Are you going then?
Are we going? We're going, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure we can just,
Yes. Let's go.
So
what do we have to hide? We're
as-
just here to
as-
ask questions.
as soon as you walk through the, really grand and tall golden archway of the entrance of the House of Inspired Hands, it is, has like these two hands kind of sticking out of the archway, like as if they're holding the roof, right, of the building, if
That's
that makes
cool.
sense.
Yeah.
It looks really impressive, and it's got like these domed ceilings, and it's a cool building. As soon as you step through the entrance, you're greeted by a dragonborn, a bronze dragonborn, and she, as soon as she sees you, she addresses you in a very Florence Foster Jenkins voice of,
Did she sing it?
"Hello,
Oh, no.
and welcome to the House of Inspired Hands."
Does it do like a jazz hand situation? Because it's
House of
inspired,
Inspired
hands.
Jazz Hands.
I will do
Hello,
inspired
and
jazz
welcome to the
hands.
House of Inspired Hands. What can I do for you? What can Gon do for you? Are you seeking curious inventions or strange machinery from lands far away?
Well, in a way we are. We come
Ooh.
with questions.
Have you come with a donation to the House of Inspired Hands?
No.
Does it have to be financial, this donation?
No, everyone is welcome, please.
No, I mean, we could donate something else.
Like a
You
wooden
have-
horse.
Do you have some fresh troll hair?
We are not really
hair
seeking
and
troll
vinegar.
hair at the moment. What can the House of Inspired Hands do for you, please?
But we wanted to ask about something that we'd seen recently.
Yes.
And we were told that you folks might be the most knowledgeable about this sighting or this thing.
Please tell me more.
Well, we saw recently near where we live, the establishment that we run together, Morbash Manor. Excellent drinks and food and wonderful atmosphere. You should come by
Excellent
sometime.
music.
Yes, I've heard
Music.
of it.
Oh well, you should certainly visit. There was upon a roof. We think a nimblewright was seen. A nimblewright. That means something to you. Is that correct?
Yes, we have one in residence. In fact, it was given to
And-
us by a Lantanese wizard, and we used to have more. for the Day of Wonders parade, but they have unfortunately broken down.
Oh, so you have them, but they're not operating.
Oh no, we have disposed of them. There's only one remaining.
Wait. All right. Can we roll? How does one dispose of a Nimblewright?
Well, it's decommissioned when it ceases to function.
And then
Where does it go then?
Yes.
Oh, we burned them. They're wooden, so it's not really that hard.
Ah.
Do you burn them on these premises, or are they burnt externally?
Honestly, I am not aware of the disposal methods. I'm not really in charge of such trivialities.
I think we're all thinking here that there's a possibility that you could send one away to be disposed of, and someone would then acquire it and reactivate it.
Yes.
And no, once they're broken, they are broken. We wouldn't dispose of it if it was repairable.
You said that you have one on
Yes.
premises. Has it been out for a wander recently?
No, it lives up on the rooftop. It is not allowed to wander.
No, I understand it's not allowed to wander, but has it wandered?
There's no chance of that. We would have known it.
No chance. That's a puzzle. Because we think we saw one.
Oh.
Well,
How
actually, no, we
curious.
didn't see it. Sorry, did we? We think there was one.
I mean,
As
we can
Rogan
say we saw it. I guess.
Well, there's not the only Nimblewright in the world, you know, that we possess.
We don't know. That's why we're here.
Oh, I see. You are seeking knowledge and learning. Good.
Always.
And there are many Nimblewrights in the world, and they're not made in these parts of Faerun.
I see.
So others might be in possession of it, but I wouldn't know how to find more in Waterdeep. If I would perchance make them a monetary offer, for we could have more for the Day of Wonders again.
Are we able to communicate with the Nimblewright?
And they don't speak per se, but the Nimblewright we have in residence, we have developed a sort of a sign language with them, and we can communicate with that one. Yes.
Is that a sorry, Rogan? Please go ahead.
I was just going to say, is that something we could arrange for perhaps you to translate for us for a conversation with this Nimblewright? It would help clear up a mystery for us.
Of course.
We'd be happy to donate if you would.
We have nothing, Rogan.
Of course. Well, please.
I've plenty of vinegar.
That's true.
Did you say you have plenty of vinegar?
Yes,
We do.
Do you need vinegar?
Yes, actually, we need a large supply of vinegar.
Whoa. What do you need
We are
vinegar for?
chaps.
There's some experiments that some of the wizards in residence are performing, and one of them, for their thesis, requires a large amount of vinegar. We've been trying to source it, but it's proving incredibly difficult.
We could certainly donate a small amount, and if it turns out that it's useful, you could purchase the remainder of this vinegar from Morbash Manor.
Well, fantastic. We will send an envoy to collect the vinegar. Morbash Manor, did you say? Oh, yes, I've heard of it. New tavern.
Did not expect this
And that,
at
and
all.
that
That's
everyone,
amazing.
that everyone is how you upsell.
That's exactly fantabulous luck. Okay, I just had a small question. That is there a way to identify one? What they called something right?
Nimblewright.
One Nimblewright from the other Nimblewright. Like, do they have a serial number or a name or some way of telling them apart?
Well, not so much. They do look quite similar to each other. I guess it depends on the design and who designed the Nimblewright. Ours does have a name. We call him Nim.
Very original.
Nim the Nimble.
Are we able to speak with Nim?
Yes, please. I will take you upstairs, and we shall converse.
Lovely.
She
Thank you
picks
very
up her
much.
robe like that and starts walking.
You can't see Efka's legs. you wish you could see Efka's legs right now. They're going
Theatre of the Mind.
like this.
In my imagination, Efka's legs aren't legs; they're like little, really little legs. Like you imagine, like tiny little puppet legs.
Like if you have a puppet that you put your fingers through.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
If you pass through really, really strange contraptions and inventions and things that you don't quite understand, they're composed of big gears and small gears and blue glowing orbs and various statues that all of a sudden start moving and stopping, and there's
amazing.
crackling things happening, and it is a house full of various things that you're like, what is this? I don't know. There's no time. Let's go upstairs. So
That's so cool.
So that's pretty neat. Once you get upstairs, you realize that there's sort of like a dormitory up there. There's more like wizards in residence who have various laboratories and stuff like that. And you pass through a couple of corridors, and the stairs, unfortunately, annoyingly, it's one of these buildings where the stairs aren't quite like, well, there's stairs to the next floor and there's stairs to the next floor. No, you have to go up the stairs, then go through the corridor, then you reach another set of stairs, go up, then go in the completely different direction. It's like higgledy-piggledy as all heck. But eventually you do arrive at what seems to be the attic, and it's quite a lonely corridor. It's quite dark in there, but there's some lights, actually. It's not as well lit as all the other corridors. And there's only one door. Because the corridor is quite small, like the last corridor is quite small. Valletta, by now you've learned her name. Her name is Valletta. Knocks on the door and says, Nim, you have some visitors? Not a sound is made.
Oh.
Nim, open this door right now. I'm so sorry. This is most unusual. This door is never locked, and I've never experienced such behavior from Nim. Nim, open the door, please. Now, please open the door.
Would you like some help to open the door?
Well, yes. If you could, perchance, without destroying it, somehow open the door.
Yes, I can. Is everybody happy for me to do that?
Feel free.
Yes. Yes. And if you would like any help with that,
Oh, of course, Eris.
please go ahead.
No, please.
No.
I'm clumsy as anything. You're much better placed.
While they're
Am I?
like, I kind of
Yes.
want to like, while they are discussing who is gonna like lockpick the door, I want to be. I am not strong, but I want to see if I can just kick down the door.
oh my
Okay.
god.
Without destroying the door. Okay.
Yeah.
No way, I don't care about the door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you're gonna upset Villa.
Okay. Give me an athletics check, or no, just a plain strength check.
Oh, athletics would have been better, but strength is 12.
I mean, this is no mere door. You just ram yourself into it, and you've hurt a large part of your shoulder, and also maybe you shouldn't have tried to kick it because now your foot is in a lot of pain.
That's okay.
As you take 2 points of damage from the door, and
Door damage.
yeah, door
More
damage.
damage.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate, but you tried, and
Well, it's lucky. It's lucky we brought this water skin with some of our ale in it. Have a nip, Gina. That'll
No,
sort
it's
you right
fine. It's
out.
fine. Like I'm cursing in the corner, just like. Yeah.
okay, fantastic. Which of you is going to try? Because you said you were going to try and unlock the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
But please, Eris, with your superior roguish skills, I'll enjoy seeing you do the fiddly widdly with the locks.
Oh, this is where we'll see if I really screw this up now. Now that all eyes are on me. Okay, let's see. No, that's fine. That's 21.
Woohoo! Ooh.
Oh wow! You successfully actually managed to pick the lock.
That's brilliant.
As Valletta immediately opens the door, Nim, what is the meaning of this? And you sort of see Nim go, backing away in like sort of what seems to be like an emotionless face, but the way it moves with like unsureness. There is a sense of hesitancy, and I'm not gonna try and give it too many emotions because you can't detect too many, because it doesn't really have eyes or a nose or a mouth. So there's
scared.
I mean, it sort of backs away, right? Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't have eyes or a nose or a mouth.
No.
So what's his face?
I mean,
look like?
it looks like a human face, right? But it doesn't seem to possess like a mouth to
Eyebrows.
speak, or like eyebrows and stuff like that, right? And the nose doesn't function. Does that make sense, right? Like
Sure.
Yes, yeah.
you think you can probably
It's
see.
it's a pattern of a face rather than an actual like.
Yes, exactly. It's a pattern of a face,
Okay.
and you think you can probably see, right? Because it can clearly see you. You just don't know how. It's not like via the normal.
And it can hear as well.
It can also hear. Yes.
Valletta, can you ask Nim why, when we arrived, I was hit by a sparrow, and can I take the sparrow out of my pocket and say, Nim, I think this belongs to you?
Did you say you were hit by a sparrow? Nim, what is the meaning of all of this behavior?
Someone's acting up.
Nim
Yes.
Nim backs away even further, and then it starts to like move its hands in like strange patterns, right? Like with its fingers.
Can I make an insight check on that?
Yes.
This is the sign language, I guess, that we're,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
that
think
we're
so.
told about.
But no, because she's kind of confused at it, right? I don't know. May I do that anyway? So, no,
Is
There's
Is
some
there,
hand
like-
waving
I
going
know
on.
nothing.
is there like an open window behind him where he could flee or?
Give me a perception check.
He can get on the roof,
Casually
can't he?
walk
We know
around and
that.
close all the windows. Yeah.
Oh, I just want to make sure he doesn't like run
Yeah.
off. Perception. That's 12.
You can tell that there was there is a window, and that's probably how it got onto the roof. It's not directly
Yeah.
a window to the roof, but
But
or
you could
that
climb
particular
out
roof.
and-
Yeah.
But is he
yeah.
moving towards that?
No,
or-
no.
Okay.
He's incredibly. He looks like he's communicating with Valletta right now. And after a brief moment, Valletta says, "Right, yes. It seems that Nim has been making his own inventions, which is most unusual, and I'm most disappointed in you, Nim. No such thing was allowed, and I'm very upset.
Unusual or interesting?
Unusual, and it's a behavior that's just not permitted to you, Nim. What were
Does
you
Nim-
thinking?
Does Nim have access to necklaces with fireballs on them? Fire beads? Balls?
Nim gestures something, and Valletta says, Nim doesn't seem to know about any necklaces of fireballs or anything like that.
Did
Certainly
she-
seems
can
like
I
Nim,
just- Like mime out like an explosion, like
And Nim goes, right? Without the noise. Like, he mimics you exactly.
That's weird.
Can we? I know you say that Nim never leaves the premises. However, can you ask Nim if he has left or they have left the premises recently and saw an explosion like this somewhere else?
So, like, he starts moving his hands, and Valletta almost goes, "Oh no! Nim, how dare you! Well, it seems that our miscreant here has invented himself a companion. And this companion, also a Nimblewright, has escaped. But this was many weeks ago. And it fled in terror upon creation.
Oh no!
And Nim does not know what happened of it since.
That's not good.
Well, you're right. This isn't good. And Nim, you will be punished, and all your tools will be taken away. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, it seems like Nim is just trying to be creative
less
and
lonely.
Creativity is more than encouraged in the House of Inspired Hands, but first you must seek permission for research.
Well, sometimes people have urges to do things. We need to be. We need to.
No matter. I
need an outlet.
I will request assistance of you now because having learned that our own Nimblewright has created another one and sent it loose onto the city, and we don't want this to come back to the House of Inspired Hands. Quick, let me consult my note. Oh, okay, that's how much. Okay, I shall offer you 500 dragons to destroy this.
Whoa! Wait.
For us to destroy it for you.
Oh, absolutely! No Nimblewright created by another Nimblewright is going to be of sound mind. It's an errant creation. It's not meant to be. It must cease.
Oh,
that seems harsh.
Well, no, it will be confused. It doesn't have the proper thinking capacities. It's dangerous. It could cause harm to the city, and it's not really sentient, is it? Though, as well.
Perhaps
we don't
that's
know, do we?
Yeah, right. As Marche says, maybe that's a decision to be made once we find the Nimblewright and perhaps try and communicate with it and see what its intentions are. I feel like we
can incapacitate him and bring him to you, and then you can speak to him. Or
if you incapacitate it and bring it to us, that also works. And I have 500 gold pieces to destroy it, and also as an additional tool. I offer you this. Just if you bear with me a moment, it's somewhere here in Nim's workshop. She starts rifling through things. Yes, there it is. She takes out a curious device that is sort of a golden rod with various levers and pulleys and like handles that you can press, and a little tiny umbrella, metal umbrella at the top of it.
Spin round.
And she says, "This is a Nimblewright detector. Once you activate it, it will produce an effect once it's near a Nimblewright, and the effect will be greater. Why
isn't it happening now when there's Nim here?
Yeah, Nim is right there.
Oh, he hasn't been activated.
Oh!
Activate it. Show us what it does so we can anticipate its reaction.
So she holds down the trigger, right, the main lever, and the umbrella starts to spin and whir and click, and it accelerates the closer it approaches towards Nim.
Amazing.
Fancy.
It's very simple to maneuver. Please take it.
Can we ask Nim? Can we ask Nim why the other Nimblewright? Wow. Well, I'm curious why they created their own Nimblewright companion and why it ran away.
Nim gestures something. Oh, this is preposterous.
I missed the question. I just came back to this is preposterous.
Complete and utter nonsense. You cannot be lonely, Nim. This is most unusual.
Yes.
So, Nim, why did your companion leave?
He barely gestures at anything at all. And Valletta says, "Oh, poppycock. No such thing as confused. It was an error. It was an errored creation.
Oh, Nim. I'm
So,
sorry that
Nim-
your friend left.
Nim's friend was confused and run away. Okay.
How would that trigger him throwing a fire bead at
Where
people
did he get
running
it
and
from?
killing people?
Well, maybe he fell in with a bad crowd.
in a
Also,
couple
did
of weeks,
did
yeah.
did oh no, yeah, did yeah.
But or maybe she's right that when these nimble rights create other nimble rights, it's not quite okay.
That's possible.
Uh,
I don't want to.
like making a copy of a copy. Perhaps it's
Yeah.
something to do with that. But if we could retrieve it, which she said is perfectly viable, perhaps we could improve it somehow before she destroys it.
Yeah, and
Yes.
be a good friend for Nim.
Yes.
Yes.
Nim, we really want to help your friend.
Yes.
Where do you think we could find them if you were to adventure around the city? Where might you go?
Nim goes.
Oh, that's pity.
Universal sign of I don't know. That was good intel, though. It's good. We found a lot of information out. We found out that Nim's made their own nimble, right? And it's ran off into the city. And then we've got a little doodat that can help us track it down.
We don't know where he got the fire beads from, do we?
No, but that's what Eris said. He
Oh,
could have
that's- oh,
fallen
sorry.
into the bad crowd.
No, but
Yeah.
but I was thinking. Sorry, I was thinking more like if we asked maybe Nim, like if he, no, or even the dragon, Valletta. She knew
How
anything
long
about.
Did Nim give his friend a name so we could
Oh, yeah.
approach him more? Do they call it Num or Nom?
Or Min, like opposite of Nim.
He gestures something, and Valletta says, "It seems it didn't go as far as names, because as soon as it activated, it just bolted through the window."
Oh no! Oh no! Should have put a leash on it,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Nim, how long
That's
ago was this? How long ago was it you made your companion?
This was weeks ago, it seems.
Oh.
So it has been out and
shades.
about for quite a while, then, yeah.
Such a good way to make friends. Just put a leash on him.
Well, is that not how you make all your friends? By
No.
putting a leash on them to begin with? Just to begin
Good
with.
grief.
When they trust you, you can take it off. But you can't have them being a flight risk.
Well, we need to close down this workshop now and figure out what we're gonna do with Nim as punishment. But so we're quite busy. But we will send an agent for the vinegar,
Yes, we'll give you a small amount of vinegar to test, and then if you require more, you can
Yes.
purchase
No,
it from Morvash Manor.
we need vinegar in large quantities very soon. So
Sure.
if
If
you
you'd like
have,
to purchase it from Morvash Manor, you're more than welcome.
how many barrels do you have?
That's
20?
a lot.
Well, a 20 barrels sounds good. I shall offer you 100 dragons for 20 barrels of vinegar.
I mean, this vinegar is very good quality vinegar. It's the highest of qualities.
And sure, when you destroy the other nimble right, please return to me. And not only will I award you 500 dragons, I also promise you a special prize from the House of Inspired Hands, a unique creation.
Oh yes. Oh, let's do it.
Can
That's
you,
exciting.
if Nim is lonely again and is not allowed, I know you told us he cannot leave the premises, but if he needs company, what if he does a show with me every Friday night in the Morvash Manor, so he can hang out with people, perform, even when it's not the parade
I love that.
event day?
Can you make a persuasion check?
How is
That'll
that?
be
How do I need to persuade? I mean,
I'll get the crowds in.
That's 13.
This would be most irregular. This machine was not designed for musical performances in a tavern. We only bring it out once a year for a special parade.
Special parade.
The
Yeah,
chance
but a parade is basically the same as a musical
yes, but it's a highly
performance.
controlled environment where there's no chance that anything will damage it.
It does seem that Nim has grown beyond your original
Yes,
vision.
indeed.
Well,
Do you want him
seems
to make more
cruel.
creations? I'm gonna like threaten her now. Like,
Wow.
do you want him to go full AI? I don't know what's like D&D
Or
term.
Skynet.
Like, take over the world with his machine creations and create an army. Like, what if we could at least offer him some company once every week or every month? Like, if that's better in your agenda, like.
this is most irregular. Can you give me an intimidation check if you are actually trying to intimidate her?
Can I do something to help this? Because I think we all feel the same.
What
about
are you doing to help?
like just stand behind Gina,
Like making a stern point.
Yes, this is cruel behavior, and he should be allowed out.
Okay, can you give
Like
me an
others.
intimidation check? And then if you succeed, Gina will have advantage. How about that?
Awesome. Okay.
Oh, I don't think I need advantage.
7. Oh, you don't? Oh, go for
Okay.
it then.
I
Go
have
on
an
then.
unnatural 20.
All right. Okay, that's pretty good.
Good job.
Humph. You seem to have a point. I will. I. Okay. How about in 8 days we shall try this out. Meanwhile, first, I want to observe Nim's behavior, and if Nim behaves himself well, she points a finger at Nim, as speaking to him, but in third person. Then maybe he will be allowed to Mobash Manor once a 10-day.
Fair. That's fair.
That's cool. Like, he understands, right?
He seems
Yeah.
to.
He just can't speak.
Yes.
But like, he understands everything we're
He seems to.
saying.
Yes.
So that's cool. So he knows that that's a thing then.
I
That's-
give him a big wink, like, we got you.
That wasn't creepy.
Even
at
though
all.
he threw his peril at us and, like, tried to...
Yeah, he's just being like for devilment, isn't it? Because he's bored.
The question
he's
is.
bored or curious or just doesn't
Yeah,
know
right.
or understand things yet.
Right.
Yeah. The question is, what do you want to do next?
Hmm.
Do we want to immediately go nimble right hunting?
Do we want to go to
You can
Or-
wait. You can wait a day and meet up with Mert the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's also a possibility.
or
Yeah.
make our way through, like, back to, like, maybe he was out shopping and try him again and then...
Maybe.
And
Why
didn't
not?
they say that he wouldn't be back until
Till the
tomorrow?
next day.
That was,
Oh,
that
that's
was,
true.
That was, yeah.
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 they
I
did
mean, you
say
can
that.
try again. You never know.
You never know. Maybe he got
never
back
know.
early.
You never know. It does involve a roll of a dice, as Effigy has pointed out.
Yes.
Very literally.
Very literally. Can I, while all this is going on, can I give the little sparrow back to Nim? Just like quite
Yeah.
like, and he's not meant to have it, so I'll do it like on the sly whilst they were.
Oh,
while Gina
that-
was intimidating. So I feel like intimidation would have helped me be like slick.
Okay. You should go. Okay. Do a stealth check with advantage.
Okay.
Your armor is not penalizing you for this because you're,
Sure. Because the
yeah.
intimidation's distracting.
Yeah.
Stealth check with advantage. Okay. Well. Somehow I only managed to get 8. So once again, Rogan is failing to be stealthy.
No, stop that. He's not allowed any toys.
God, no wonder he's
Wow.
bored.
Yeah, right.
Well, okay, I was merely returning what they had already created, but this is your premises.
Does anybody else feel like we can't leave him here? Because
Do we
he's-
what?
I mean,
We have no way of communicating with it.
we also don't know how to take care of a Nim.
No, but Or like
We don't really understand what a nim is.
We have to come and get him at
Can
in the near
I point
future.
out that his workshop is quite big? There's a lot of
But
space.
he's not allowed any toys.
Well, I mean, she's
just-
not
he's
saying
just-
that he's generally not allowed any toys. He's not allowed any toys now as punishment. Is what she meant.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, to be fair to her, he has made a copy that's then gone out and murdered several people. So I mean, you
Fair,
have
alright,
to,
yeah,
you have to,
alright.
you have to
Good point.
factor that in a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Several people have died based on the creation that he made. So encouraging him to make things might actually
no, you're
not be a
right.
great idea.
Yeah, there's just an element that some supervision is maybe required.
Yeah. Take away the lock off his.
Yeah.
door.
I think getting him to perform in our shows every 10 days with Gina will be a good start.
Indeed, and something of a spectacle, I imagine, for the local clientele.
And we will give them a discount on the vinegar.
Well, right?
I think it might
Because
be
we
a
will
good
earn
idea.
like
It wasn't a
lot of
discount,
money
she
for
offered
having
we're
you-
not giving him a discount on the vinegar.
She offered you a ridiculous amount of money for vinegar.
Yeah,
anyway,
Okay,
Okay, yeah, sure.
Rogan has a lot of debt, and just giving away vinegar for
Does.
free when someone's going to pay us 100 gold seems like reverse business.
This is true.
Yeah.
It definitely is something that tends to change people's
Also,
values.
she was very happy to pay us. That's another thing. It's not like we had to badger her into it. She was like, "Oh, fantastic! I'll give you money." So
And I imagine like the temple is not strapped for cash.
no.
It
This would
doesn't
be
look it, does it?
a happy business arrangement for all.
And we get something cool as well, a special prize if we do the dragon. The dragon. No, if we, I've got dragons on the brain. If we find the nimble right.
The number right, the number wrong.
Wow.
Nimble right.
Wow. Anyway, on your way out of the House of the Inspired Hands, you run into Mert the Moneylender. And he says, I was just looking for you at Morbash Manor. Ah, I'm so glad I found you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mert
Th-
the
there's-
Myrtle. Did you say Mert the Myrtle?
No, I said Mert the Moneylender.
I swear I heard Mert the Myrtle, but that's just me.
Listen.
in your
There's
head.
no time to waste. A cat's life is at stake.
Cat.
A cat.
Oh,
A cat.
good grief.
And this is where we
Like
will
a
end.
cat.
A cat.
Or like a meow cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you will have to wait a week to find out more about the cat.
What cats?
unfortunately.
We don't know any cats, do we? Have we met any cats?
Tabaxi cat or a street cat?
You don't
met
know.
some
You'll have
cool
to wait a week to
cats.
find out.
Which of those is in danger?
Yeah.
We don't know.
You don't know? Have you met
Well-
any cats? You don't know. Maybe you have and just don't recognize them as cats.
Meow.
It's a possibility. All right. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves very much. Where can we find you, Emma? Where can people who watch our show and enjoy our show find more of Emma?
This? Me?
Yeah. You,
This
yeah.
Emma.
This
That
Emma.
lovely face.
This?
This? In the Netherlands. No, just kidding.
That's not a joke. That's true. You are genuinely in the
Yeah,
Netherlands.
genuinely,
Yeah.
yeah. No, they can find me at Mzaya, and I do like Twitter and Instagram or the Pointless Parrot podcast, and I do a podcast and Twitch streaming and random videos on the internet.
Fantastic. Where can we
Yeah.
find you, Ross?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram under More Games Please with all of the letters that would spell. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter under More Games PLS. I do board game streams on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. UK time.
And where can we find you, Paul?
I use the handle Paulacino, which is spelt Paullicino. Have to think about that every time. And you can find me on everything there on Patreon, where I do lots of writing, or Twitter, where I do tweets, or Instagram, where I instantly gram, and all the things on the internet.
Wow.
If you like
Gramming
words or pictures or
instantly.
He's got lots of
I like-
Grammys. He's got many
I
Grammys.
like pictures are good. It's nice to look at things.
It is nice to look at
If
things.
if you enjoyed the show and you just stumbled on it through Twitch. We have a YouTube channel where the show
YouTube.
normally goes onto. And also we do a lot of board game reviews, and we're quite known for that by now. That would be me and Elaine. If you enjoyed the show, you can always make a donation to our cast. There's a donation button down below, whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube. And I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next week.